Hello and welcome to the first line of Gate 30. Gate 30 is the gate of the recognition of feelings. It is the clinging fire. And the first line is called Composure. Gate 30 is one of those gates where every line has an introduction line. So this lifetime learning process tells us that we don't come into this world knowing how to recognize feelings. It is something that we grow into through experience. And as always, we begin with the foundation, with that first line, which is called composure, which is not maybe what you'd imagine, perhaps. But the reality is that the nature of feeling is to go into the process, to delve into the process, because this is the nature of introspection in the first line. And I Googled synonyms, synonyms, no, not cinnamons, you know the word I'm trying to get to, synonyms, anyway, that word for composure. And what I came up with was calm and serenity. So we can add those into that introspection of the clinging fire and the recognition of feeling. This is what the first line is telling us, that there is a calmness and a serenity to this process of introspection here. And the lifetime learning says balance in the face of disorder. And the disorder is the feeling of the wave. The exaltation says the maximization of limitation in all cases, stability through feelings no matter what the situation. This is not feelings as an uncomfortable obsession. This is just the capacity to carry the feeling regardless of the wave. You're not waiting for that opportunity to unload the feeling by achieving the experience. Ra said you can never separate the feeling from the experience. All feelings are about the experience or the lack of it. All feelings. So when somebody says, I don't feel good, it's because of an experience or the lack of an experience. That's what's driving that. And of course, the lack of composure within that. And this is cyclical after all. We will go through this because this is the nature of the format of the abstract circuit. It's all about those beginnings and endings. We can't get away from that. In the detriment, we have the ability to maintain composure, but at the expense of progress. Balanced through feelings, but unable to let go of them. And so it's the same thing in a way. You can hear the language in these two lines is very similar. It is this capacity to live with the feeling and to survive both the hope that the feeling brings and the despair that it can bring. The difference is that it's much harder for the detriment to get to the experience, but regardless, it still has the composure to hold on, to progress, to get to the experience. So these are people who hold on to a feeling all their lives. They can hold on to things things that are a feeling that is related to an experience that they never actually had, which doesn't mean they're always thinking about that thing, but it's not disturbed in that sense. There is still that composure in there, but it's the feeling itself never gets to be released. It's never exorcised. You never get to the point of the 35 that says, I've been there, I've done that, experience finished, move on to the next thing. And this gate burns with feelings. This is the gate of yearning and longing. And in that feeling comes an intensity. And this is where desire is. It's driven by desire. And the key to that is composure. And most people think of this gate as being the burning gate because that's the traditional I Ching name for it, the burning fire, the clinging fire. And yet we find one of the keys is the recognition of composure in the rising of the intensity of the feeling, waiting for that opportunity to be able to actualize it. So perhaps we can reframe the way that we look at this clinging fire to include the words serenity and calm that are also synonyms. Got there eventually. When we move from the 30th gate to the 36th gate through the experiential way, we are going to the gate of inexperience, a gate that demands experience. But the 30th gate is living out the feeling in the wave, up and down in that wave of feelings. And it is those who carry the 30th gate who are carrying what we call feelings. And the 30th gate is all about obsession. Now, even if we can be composed, the obsession is still there. And the longer the intensity develops in the 30th gate without the capacity to fulfill that, the deeper the obsession becomes. This is a deep hunger that lies inside human beings, that hunger that longs to be fulfilled. The nature of this gate is to have composure in spite of obsession. The experience can be in the feeling itself without any consummation. The sun's transit through gate 30 is grounded and supported by the earth in gate 29. And here in the first line, we find the draftee and the ability to adapt to struggle. Well, if you don't wait to find out whether an answer is true or not, or you're just jumping into an experience with both feet, then you're likely to meet some kind of struggle. And yet composure is the overriding theme here. And because it's the sun gate, it takes a little bit of precedence over what's going on in the 29. And so the struggle is just an experience that can be met and investigated with equanimity. And so this is the second sun report for today. So we've already had one moon gate. We already looked at the 29 where our earth is sitting and the moon is sharing it. And the moon is there until 121 when it moves into gate 59, the gate of sexuality and dispersion in the sacral. And we have a channel here with the moon meeting the south node gate in 6. In 6, the south node gate in 6. Yeah, the south node in gate 6. Get my worms the right way around. This is a tribal channel in the defense circuit, and it is called the channel of mating, and it's a design of focused reproduction. This is a very fertile channel, and whilst on the one hand it is the demand of our genes to endlessly create more life, it is also about birthing new projects and new creative processes. And all through this sun's transit through gate 30, we have the stream of feeling active. I talked about this in the overview, if you watched that. This is the whole of the human experiential way. It's highlighted through this transit for everyone. So we have an opportunity to see where our expectation pulls us off track, and where we don't wait for the wave to bring us clarity, just how powerful feelings are. All of the qualities of this stream are here for us all to play with over the next few days. So, lucky us. And I will see you for a second line tomorrow. And until then, I will practice how to say that word that begins with S. And I wish you a very beautiful, it's only a night almost, isn't it? Depending when you're listening to this, of course. But I will see you very shortly for the second line. And we will gradually get back in sync with the sun transiting earlier and earlier in the day. So it's what happens from time to time. We know that by now. Okay, take care and I'll see you soon. Go gently.